Hey Libras, welcome to your mid-monthly love reading for August 2019. My name is Amanda Pearl. I'm also known as the Queer Psychic Queen, and I'm just here bringing some clarity about your love life in August from about the 16th to the 31st. Okay. So this reading would be good for Libra's Sun, Rising, and Venus. I don't know why I can't think of the word Sun today. In like other readings that I did, I was like Aquarius, Sun, Libra Sun, Libra Venus, and Libra Rising. This would apply to any of those. So, Libras, let's get into it. I did things a little bit differently this time. I usually do like what's the vibe of your love life, what's going on, and what's the outcome. In this reading, I actually did like how you're feeling about your love life, how they're feeling about your love life, and the outcome. So, for the pre-reading, when I was shuffling, like it's so interesting when your guides send such like specific messages because sometimes I just feel like in the pre-reading, like they just tell me like everything I would have heard in the actual reading and it's just like over. And then it's like, I mean, I guess that's like mostly how I do the readings anyway, because when I pull a card, I basically pull the card and then listen to the message that I get from your angels and your guides. So it's all a lot of intuition anyway. In the pre-reading, I pulled a card for like the vibe of this whole reading, and I pulled the Ace of Fire, which is the Ace of Wands. It's this guy, he's like very proud. He's like pretty powerful with his like wand, and it's like on fire. And it just looks like he's just like he's outside of a city. You can see the city in the background, and he's almost like he's like looking like he's like in some water or in some fog, but either way, he's like very magical and very proud of his accomplishments. And because he's leaving the city, what I'm getting is that like you're really moving into something new this month, this mid-month period. So that's like the overarching theme of the whole reading is just like you in general are kind of moving into something new. And then when I start to talk about that, I get sort of like a little bit of nausea because it's like you're pretty nervous about this new venture, this like new chapter of your life, but you feel it also that it's meant to be. So you're nervous, but you're trusting the universe, which I think is a perfectly great place to be. Because you know that, you know like what's good for you and you know what's coming up next. This doesn't feel like just love. This feels like more like career or like life path, purpose type of stuff. You know that like this change was coming up for a long time, or that I also see some of you Libras like making some lifestyle changes as far as like being healthier. You've known these changes have been coming for a long time, so it doesn't feel like a surprise to you, but you're still nervous. And changes like can be stressful. So like it's totally okay to be nervous, but definitely sit in the trust of the universe that like you got this and you can do this change. Because this reading is from August 16th to August 31st and Mercury left its shadow on August 15th. So it's like Jupiter also went direct on August 11th. So now we have more planets going direct. Things are clear, things are moving forward, and I feel like by mid-August, I don't know if it's like you're more ready or like the change had to happen, so it's like it's happening either way. But changes are happening. And that's so interesting because I don't have Libra anywhere in my chart. Literally, like even in my extended chart, I have no Libra. But I'm making a lot of changes this month, so that's very interesting. For how you feel about your love life. So, excuse me, just an overview of everything. I feel like this month you're going to have a little bit of a fling. I don't know. I don't feel like this person you've met before, and I don't feel like you've ever known them. So it feels like a new person, and it feels like you're going to have somewhat of like a little playful like hookup or fling. And it feels like it's kind of crazy because it feels like it's going to be over as quickly as it started. And it's like, what a weird reading. Like, I'm sorry, Libra, but like, this is what your guides are saying. And so like, I have to speak to it. So for how you're feeling, I pulled the playfulness card and the 9 of air card. And the 9 of air card is the 9 of swords card. And it's not like the greatest card. It's usually like the card of expecting the worst in a situation and like those things that you expect to happen actually happening. And it's just like not, it just feels like you are so nervous about these changes coming up, Libra, that like you're just making yourself sick with like different situations that could happen. But at the same time that like you're having this kind of difficult time with all of these changes, I feel like a flirtatious like experience situation comes into your life around that time. So because I pulled the playfulness card. So it feels like someone new is coming. It doesn't feel like, I was saying with the overview card, it doesn't feel like you've ever met them before or have known them before. And it feels super duper good. So I feel like you're so attracted to this person, and they also just like come into your life at a time when you're like feeling kind of down. So it just feels like super, excuse me. It just feels like super good to be around them. And then how that person is feeling, I pulled the keep an open mind and the Emperor card. Now this is very interesting, Libra, because what this is telling me, it's like shouting at me from your guides, is that this person is a lot different physically than what you're typically used to. And I'm getting that this person is it's a lot more masculine than you're used to. So like, I got a pretty clear message that like, like if you see the Emperor card, like look how masculine he is. He's like really standing in his divine masculinity. And this person either feels like they're a guy or they're a more masculine girl, and you're not typically attracted to people like that. So it just feels like this new, different experience for you, and it's going along so well with your life because you're also experiencing right now these new different opportunities and these new different changes with this Ace of Wands. So Libra, August, the second half is like just like the month of you basically stepping into a new life, and it feels really good, but like I definitely feel like your stress and your tension under it. However, I feel like you will get through it. This is not the hardest thing you've ever done. In fact, all of these changes are good things. They're all good. It's just hard sometimes when it's change at all. So this person's energy feels like super confident, like they know what they want, very masculine, very like standing in their worth. And they seem like really logical and a little bit strategic and different than you in that way. So my homework or my guidance for you, Libras, for the last half of August would be to just like keep your mind open and keep your heart open. Like even just asking the angels to open your heart chakra. Keeping that open is so crucial because what's meant for you won't pass you, but in this moment, it'll come back around. But you could miss this opportunity if you have like your blinders on and you're like, no, this is what I'm typically used to. However, I feel like no matter what, this person is kind of going to catch your attention, and this person feels like very attractive to you, and they feel very attracted to you. Now, I feel like it's really, really physical, this relationship, and I honestly feel like the outcome of this situation is like it's very like casual right now. So in the middle of August to the end of August, it feels like very casual, and it feels like, because for the outcome of your romantic life in the end of August, the cards I pulled really have to do with like all these changes you're going through right now and all the stress you're experiencing around these changes. Because I pulled the 10 of air card, which is the 10 of swords. Like I have the 9 of swords. So it's like, to me, that just tells me that like You're going through a time of change. And it's so interesting because this card is like all about embracing change. Like if you can tell these unicorns, it's almost like they're going into new territory because like just if you look at the way that they're like looking around as if they haven't seen these things before. So it's almost like they're going into new territory, but the Ten of Swords also symbolizes like the end of a difficult situation. So it feels like there's all these changes happening, but you're starting to get into your groove by the end of August. So that feels really good. And then for the Oracle card, I pulled the Let Your Friends Help You card. So the Let Your Friends Help You card, I really, really love this card because I just feel like in the past few weeks, Libra, like since the beginning of August, you have known these changes are coming. You're actively going through them, but you haven't been reaching out a lot. And I sort of feel like because these changes are good, like either moving, letting go of addictions, I don't really feel like it's like cutting people out of your life. I feel like it's more like lifestyle changes. Even though because these changes are good, it's difficult for you to talk about with your friends because it's just like so much excitement around where you're at right now. But it's like, talk to your friends about like, or your therapist or your mentor about like how you're nervous about the changes. Because in this card, you see like this person is getting help from their friends, from an angel. It's like you have support at your fingertips, but this is like really your time to access it because Libra, like you're really stepping into like this new version of yourself and it feels really, really good stepping into this like new chapter of your life. So that all feels so super amazing. I hope that you have an amazing last half of August. I love you, Libra. If you'd like to have a personal reading, message me. My email is queerpsychicqueen@gmail.com. If you'd like to just book a session, my website's queerpsychicqueen.com. Have an amazing day, and I love you guys.